So that's that. And now basically I just want to sort of make that pretty. So we're going to move on to how we do that. And yeah, so this I think the hard work, this is just sort of fun stuff really, where you just sort of tweak it and make it look nice. So for these purposes, I'm going to use this gentellelaShiny thing I did a couple of years ago now, which is this this library here. And basically what I did, I just looked for dashboards on Google, and the top one was this Gentella HTML template here. No, not that. This one, this bootstrap one here, which is this, and it's top of Google. And then I was looking at you do Shiny HTML templates, and so instead of the sort of default Shiny that we all know and love, you can basically add a sort of HTML template with your own CSS and all this. So what this package is basically it's taken the gentellelaShiny, the Gentella bootstrap theme, and RFI'd it by putting all these templates in. So these are called R code, and then it's got all the sort of CSS and JavaScript that this Gentella uses. I don't think I've ever said that out loud. Gentella. Yeah, but anyway, it looks nice. So I use it quite a lot. But if you want to modify another sort of any HTML page, it's actually relatively simple to do. So look at the sort of how this was done in this one, and you can use it for so you can make Shiny apps look like anything really, which is really nice. So we use this as in the library. You have to download this from GitHub because it's not on CRAN or anything. So you can follow that link later. But yeah, so we're going to keep everything the same because we're not changing data now. We're just changing how it looks. So that's all simple enough. Now, the way it works is that instead of this fluid page, which is sort of the default Shiny thing, then we're going to add this Gentella page. I've never said that out loud actually, so that one. And yeah, and that will add all the sort of HTML template that we've got, and then it's got sort of various things that you can add. Now, what I've done in this one is I've moved this authentication into this sidebar element, so it looks nicer. It's more useful. So let's get rid of that one because we've got this one here instead. So that's gone into this sidebar element, and you can add a title. You can add an icon to the title, and made in Denmark 2018. So that's all in there, and then it also has these different ways of displaying graphs and things like that. So instead of let's just check. Yeah, so the way it works, so you've got these named things up here. You can add tracking as well if you like, and then for every row in the page, then you add another Shiny element in here. So that will be in the first row, and then this will be in the second row, and it's got a date picker thing at the top. So instead of the date picker being on its own here, we'll put it in the top there. We'll see it in a minute. And then we're going to actually, instead of using this plot output, which is the sort of default plot output, we're going to use digraphs, which is this nice JavaScript library for showing time series graphs, and you can zoom in and out and things like that. It's much more interactive and cool. So we'll put that in. And then the last thing is, instead of just showing this text output like this, we'll put it in a dashboard box here, just so that we've got it. You know, looks nice. So if we run that, what's that mean? Oh, that's just because that's too small. If we refresh this page, so you can see now that it's a lot more stylized. This is just because I've got too small a screen at the bottom. But you can see now, and it's also reactive as well, so it works on mobile phones better as well, and all that. So this is a sort of default, and you see the date picker has moved into here. And if we scroll down, we've got a box that's going to go around our transit. So this is just what the UI is. So that's it for the UI now. We'll change it. And remember, the UI just makes HTML. That's all its functions to do. So actually, if you just run, yeah, you can do this, yeah. Stop that. All these functions, in theory, should just output HTML. That's all that the UI does. And then it's the server that actually does the changing that HTML via JavaScript. And that's the magic of Shiny. So now we're going to move on to the server functions. And so these are all relatively the same. These are all the same because it's the same data coming in. The only thing we're going to change is this trend plot. We're going to make this a rendered diagraph instead, like that. And then diagraph, we'll just make sure we put those libraries at the top. So there. So you've got diagraphs, and then XTS is a library that deals with time series, and it just puts it into a format that's easy for diagraphs to display. So now we're changing this GA data into a time series, an XTS thing, and that's just because it works nicely with diagraph. So that's gone into diagraph, and diagraph will add all the interactivity and things like that it's got. And then I think that is all it. So if we now run that down there, yeah, don't get any errors, it's always good. And yeah, so now we've got this, you see all the formatting, the title of the page. It's Google Analytics Talk here. And we log in. Okay. And we get this nice zoomable diagraph. And we didn't do anything really, we just gave it to diagraph, and diagraph does all this business here. I've turned it down.
On Monday, December the 25th.
Here the transcript.
Overall mean average was 9.64. Overall, the trend is upwards with a change of 0.3 sessions per month.
Thank you. So yeah, so that covers pretty much everything I wanted to cover, I think. Just reviewing that, we use this gentellelaShiny to make a UI theme, but you can use any HTML theme out there. You just need to adapt the HTML and Shiny and put it into the template. And then that uses this function which adds all these sort of elements, cosmetic elements. A lot of the work is just done on the UI end this time. We didn't have to change any of this server stuff really, which is really nice. So yeah, it means that you can swap around things really nicely.